Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. Thank you so much. My last video, you guys really seemed to like what I did in that video. I got a lot of views, I got a lot of responses. I tried to respond to everybody. I think I responded to everybody. If I did it, ping me again, I'll respond to you. So in the last video, we did the PPF removal. And funny enough, as I was watching the video over and over and over, something stood out to me. It probably stood out to you guys, and it was the bumper. I said I wasn't gonna remove the bumper PPF because I thought, you know, it's not that expensive to repaint the bumper if we needed to do it in the future and I want to protect it. But I keep looking at it, and every time I come out to the car, I look at it and I'm not satisfied with the way the bumper looks. You can really tell the bumper PPF is worn out. So let's take a look at it. I mean, just here, car's dirty. I've driven it in the rain. You can see how dirty it is. I have been driving it in the rain, but look at the bumper condition compared to the rest of the car. It's just, it looks dull, almost orange peely. And let me zoom in. When I zoom in, you can really tell, and this is why I made my decision to remove that PPF. So if I zoom in on this bumper, and it's just because the PPF is worn out. It's did its job. It's lived its life. It's lived its best life. Now it's time to move on. So actually, let me zoom in even more. On this side, you can really see where it looks like this side. Good job, dog. You can really see the condition of the PPF. You see how it's very orange peely, and then right in that corner, it has a blemish in it, and it kind of has that. It looks like it's paint that's underneath that's smeared or deteriorating. I know it's the PPF because that's exactly how the hood looked. The hood had the exact same thing in a corner up there, up here, especially the fender. This part right here looked like someone had painted it and the paint ran and then they just covered it with the PPF. But that was not the case. The case was that the PPF is just getting old and tired and worn out. Also, how do I know that? Because I have PPF here that I installed last year, and this PPF is in perfect condition. And it's taken a beating. Rock chips, stone chips. It's been driven cross country, 6,000 miles. It's been driven to LA and back. Is it as clear and glossy as the paint? No, it's a little blurry, but it's nothing like the bumper. I mean, this is a dirty car, and you can see the reflection and the clarity of it. So I am pretty sure, 99% sure, the bumper's fine. We just remove the PPF. Also, the PPF is on the headlights, and I did not know it was also on the front turn signals and / daytime running lights. The headlights, someone told me in my comments, and it's a very good point, that the headlights are composite laminate material, and if I leave that PPF on there, it's gonna fog them up or deteriorate them or mess them up. And then you can sand them and re-clear coat them, but I don't wanna get to that point. So we're gonna pull out the steamer, we're gonna steam it all off, and steam the hell out of it, and then we're gonna try to pull the PPF off. We're gonna try 2 different methods with the steamer this time. One from the comments, that we're gonna try to steam all underneath and see if we can pull it off in one pass. But at first, I think I'm gonna try the wide angle tip that I used that got it really hot so we can get a starting point. So I think I'm gonna try both methods together and see if that works. So we're gonna do things a little different. Instead of me PPFing and talking about it, I'm just going to narrate while I do the work. So let's get to work. Here we go. You know what we got to do first. We got to steam this thing up. So we're going to start with the wide head on the steamer and get the whole thing hot so it's nice and pliable so I can pick at it. One of the comments I got on my last video was that I should try using the steam underneath. So we're going to try that here and see if that works. If it works better than the method I'm using. But this method I'm using works pretty good. So here I am using just the point, so it has a concentrated point. The thing I don't like about this, it uses a lot more water, and it also burns the living crap out of your hands because it's a very sharp point. Where the wide angle uses a lot less water for the steam, and it spreads the heat more evenly, I think. So I am pulling it, but because of the point, it's just tearing every time I pull it because it gets so hot in the central point. I just feel more comfortable and more confident using the wide angle head. So that's what I kept doing, and you can see here, heated up that whole thing, and then I got the rest of it off in almost one piece, and left almost no residue behind. So that's good. Headlight's nice and clean, barely any residue, but there's a clarity. That one has PPF on it, and then this one has no PPF. Without even polishing it, you can see how much clearer the headlights are. So time to do the right side, and we're gonna get this one off all in one piece. Watch. Heated up using the wide head, got it peeled up, and bam, one single piece. Didn't break, almost no residue behind. And then just give a quick little polish. This is a light polish, just the finishing polish actually, no abrasive at all. And then we're gonna move on to the hard part, the bumper. So the bumper, same process as I did with the fenders. Heat it up, you know, a good section at a time, and then just start peeling away. On this bumper, what's different is that the way they apply the PPF, it's cut in little sections. It looks like it's one piece, but it's actually not. So as I get closer to this here, you see it breaks off. That's because that was one piece. They kind of did like a quarter of it, and then they did a piece across the front and across the bottom. So I don't know what brand PPF this is, but I thought it was going to be harder, but it was actually easier because it all came off in sections instead, as opposed to one piece. But it broke, or it didn't break, it came off as one piece in its own section, so which actually made my life a lot easier. The good thing I'm finding is there's not a lot of residue left behind with this PPF on the front bumper. Nothing compared to the hood and fender. I mean, it actually came off a lot easier. Maybe my technique is better, but I think maybe at some point the bumper PPF might have been replaced. But this is all I got left behind. Just a few stains, not a lot of residue. And then I'm gonna take a little break, because what would you do for a Klondike bar? I'm gonna take a break. All right, break's over, back to work. So then we start getting to the harder part. Now, honestly, I should have put the car on the lift right here. I should have had it up in the air. It'd be a lot easier to see this and do this with the car on the lift. But I just didn't feel like breaking out the quick jacks and getting it up in the air. But the PPF is coming off pretty smooth. The only thing I was concerned with was the grills. There's some PPF that is tucked behind the grills. Actually, it wasn't tucked behind the grills, but after I install the grills, it feels, you know, it's like the grills are on top of it. So I am able to get all the PPF off, and very minor residue. But I am gonna have to pop these grills out to get the glue residue that's out from underneath there, because there is some glue residue behind these grills. I was hoping not to, but no big deal. But you can see it came out way better than the hood and the fenders. I took off PPF off the fog light, so that one still has it on. This one I already took it off, and look how much clearer that is. So I was gonna leave it on, but hey, let's get it off. And this is easy, small piece, little heat, and it just comes off in one quick little piece. No residue, nothing, just simple. Now, because I've already done the headlights, I'm gonna pop them out, and I'm gonna get them out of the way, because I don't wanna accidentally hit them. And there's also that lip on the front of the headlight by the washer, and I wanna be able to clean that up without worrying about running into the headlights or hitting the headlights with a polisher or with anything. It's a lot easier. The other benefit is, you'll see later in the video, I can put my hand in there and support myself. Right under here, I found a surprise, and I'm going to show you the surprise at the end. But here's my rubber racer wheel that I used in the last video. People have told me not to use it, to use the solvent. I actually tried to do, on that right side, I tried to use the adhesive remover and get it off, and it still wasn't coming off. And just this rubber racer wheel is so efficient, so fast, and it doesn't really mess up the paint. So I like using it. The reason I also use the battery on the drill is because you can control the speed. So now we got all the adhesive off, and now we're in the polishing stage. And just like the hood and fenders, we're going to do 3-stage polish. First one is going to be the cut, compounding, then it's going to be a medium, then it's going to be a finishing. Now polish is all done, headlights are going back in. There's the right driver's side headlight. Grills, always do the outside first, and then so you can bend the tabs, you can put your hand behind them on the middle, and then you do the center. And this is the final product. It came out really good. I will say the PPF was hiding some stuff. There's a couple little dings and hits in there that I couldn't tell were there. You couldn't see them with the PPF on there, but it's a front bumper. I mean, you're gonna have things on there. But it came out really well, really highly polished. The spot down here that it was a surprise, right there, there's a paint chip. And I didn't know there was a paint chip when I pulled off the PPF, and I thought it was adhesive, and I was trying to clean it up, and it's actually a paint chip. But it's a plastic bumper, it's not gonna rust, no big deal. Here's all the PPF that came off the car. How nasty and yellow it is. I'm glad we pulled that off. What surprised me the most is how clear the lights came out. I'm shocked. And then so I was like, well, let's go for a drive. It's already nighttime, and blown away. The illumination is probably easily 10% better. And I'm not saying there's something wrong with PPF, just worn PPF. This is my fog lights. This is fog lights only. Look how much better they light the road up with the fog lights. And so I'm happy with what I did. I'm happy with my choice. The car turned out amazing. Are we gonna PPF it again? Still haven't made that decision. Thanks for watching this video. I tried to make it shorter than the last video, and the next video should be lowering the car, so stay tuned.